Every real estate journey is unique. That's why we created the AOF Real Estate Team, a full-service solution built to support you at every stage. Whether you're building wealth through strategic investments, need hassle-free property management, or want to maximize your sale price as a Scott McGilvery trusted team, we've assembled all key services under one roof. First-time buyer or seasoned investor, our dedicated client success team ensures your experience is seamless from start to finish. At AOF, we make real estate simple, profitable, and stress-free. The AOF Real Estate Team, your journey, our expertise.
All right, everybody, welcome. This is the AOF Monthly Update, July 2026. My name's Kellen. I got Kevin, Minh, and Ilona with us. How is everybody doing today?
Pretty great.
Fantastic.
Living the dream.
Well, the sun's shining and it's not raining, so yeah, we should be doing just fine here. Yeah, I didn't know monsoon season was something in Edmonton, but we're moving forward with our rafts if we need to. But anyway, let's jump into it. Ilona, how are the stats looking from the Ray here coming on June 2026?
Thanks, Kellen. So in terms of stats, the Edmonton market is still favoring sellers. It is becoming more balanced. We are seeing more listings on the market, and inventory is sitting at about 2.9 months. So what this means that sellers can no longer rely on limited competition. Guys, if you're selling your property in today's Edmonton market, your property really needs to stand out in terms of the price and how it presents. But also more inventory doesn't mean that prices are falling. They're actually up 4% from last year. And more inventory just means that buyers have more choice. So this is a note for buyers and sellers. And properties sell on average in 36 days right now. That's
Very
it
good.
for the market update.
Are there like any kind of property types or styles that we're seeing more shifts? And as we are in this cycle now into the summer months, like we've typically seen, and it's no surprise to things somewhat slowing down, longer days on market. It is interesting to see less listings, but again, I think maybe people are trying to time things. But is there a product type that you're seeing, or that, I guess I shouldn't say just you, but we're all kind of seeing in the market today that is moving faster, slower, things like that?
And I would like to hear from the guys on this too, but like in what I'm seeing is that the more affordable product goes fast in the category of, townhomes, semi-detached, like half duplexes, and well-priced bungalows as well in good areas.
Yeah.
But that's always gonna go fast and well I feel like in any market pretty much, because buyers shop where affordability is, and Minh maybe can touch on that as well. I feel like from what I see among my clients is that it's becoming harder to qualify for hire. So it takes, two full-time incomes to qualify for 60, for 80. So they don't quite make to even 500.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
we just and for all the viewers out there, this latest episode of Min's Mortgage Minute will speak to a lot of that, the influences on the credit score. So look out for that video as well, because that might be something as a buyer that can just help shape that conversation and getting in touch with a professional like Min to help set yourself up on that pathway towards your shop. Like before you start shopping, it's always good to get a pulse on that. But anyway, that's my introduction. I don't know, like Kev, or you see anything else kind of happening on the resale side of the market right now?
Well, like Ilona said, affordability, if you watch the podcast, affordability's going to always be busy. That's kind of the bread and butter in Edmonton. That 350 to 450, even pushing 500, always seems to be like where most of the movement is. We're still seeing like little pockets, like it's people are asking, is the market busy? Pockets are busy. Like there's certain pockets that are more in demand than others, so they've been performing well in the summer, and it's summertime right now in Edmonton. We're a winter province. I say this all the time. We get a lot of cold weather here, so when July hits, school's out. It's very common to speak to any of your friends. They're not in town, or they're camping, or they're in BC or wherever. So like things are just kind of constantly moving. So when you list in July, we definitely want to prepare you that showing activity might be lower than your historical average from the spring market, for example, and things don't really pick up until about mid-August, when that's when people kind of focus in again. You kind of miss that little rush of that back to school buyer that wants to get their family set up, have school set up. They've already bought usually. They're not usually pushing it into July. So the one good thing though, as a listing in July, is that when you need to leave for a showing, there's lots of stuff to do. It's not -40 outside, so that's always nice. And you know what? If anyone's coming to see your house on 28-degree weather, they're very serious about buying. So you get a little bit less time wasters.
That makes sense. Yeah. No, it's good. A little bit of the statistics and a little bit more information on the boots on the ground side. And although the statistics don't necessarily, give us a big picture of a lot of the business that we focus in on with the off market investment side as well. Like, just to speak a little bit of what we're going through there is, opportunities are still being committed to. I'm finding a lot of the due diligence. There's still a lot of questions, but there always should be. That's part of the process. But the time that a lot of potential prospects are looking at, putting commitments into projects. But the one thing I've found too in that same verse is that a lot of the brokers are seeing, maybe a little bit of a quicker pickup timeline with CMHC and with different lenders. The one caveat to that is that, as we've talked about with the summer months, vacations, who's in office, how quickly things can move is sometimes a little bit of a challenge to set the goalposts on finding those timelines. But at the same time, we're here, we're still having lots of conversations, still some really cool and unique opportunities are out there, but a lot of them have been starting to move now. So as always, getting in touch with one of the team is just a helpful update. Talk about the market, talk about the opportunities. And sometimes while everybody is using summer as a break time, those that take action now are going to be ahead of the game. And everybody comes rolling in the fall.
That's a great point. Like, honestly, I think we had like 4 buildings get put on hold over the last couple of weeks now.
Yeah. And
that's the thing. Like, some of the best deals I've ever seen for our clients come during this time, because, our client base on the investor side, they like to take time off. They like to travel and whatnot. So there's a little bit less activity going on, and there's a lot of good deals that kind of slip through that people, if it was in the spring, they would have been snapped up already. So what was nice for my example, my clients, they were able to really review the deal in depth, and they didn't have to decide that day. When I presented it to them, they got to take their time, but they didn't take too long because there's no more left of that specific project. So kudos to them to snap up 2 of them. But like when you want to take advantage of the market, honestly, summertime is a really great time to try and get if it's a new construction deal, the builders are maybe in a better mood. Maybe they're on a patio somewhere and they want to explore a deal. They're maybe a little bit more happier. The weather's not we did get a lot of rain, so they probably weren't on the patio last month. But yeah, it's
but today's
better
the
moods.
day then.
The vitamin D.
There you go. It makes us all feel good. No, that's a good point too, Kev. Like, again, it's kudos to the investors. And again, it doesn't mean if now isn't the right time, it doesn't mean you're going to miss out. It's just, we can only speak to what the market is talking about right now and what it's showing us, what that shift looks like. This is why it's always we enjoy providing these updates to our listeners, to our client base, to say like, this is the snapshot for what we've seen in the last month. This is what we're kind of perspective seeing moving forward. And the opportunities are still there. It's just make sure and start that due diligence period, because that's one of the things that for our team that have the experience in providing the support to ask the right questions and to find the right information to help you make that educated decision for yourself. We're going to be the collaborative support system. So no, that message still rings true with every single opportunity, every single prospect that we talk to, both on the buying and selling side. And we'll get more into that too on the selling side with the burning question. But I did also want to chat, because this week, Minh, on the overnight rate for the Bank of Canada, that's on Wednesday. So just if you've got any insider insight, probably not much at this point in time because there's not a whole lot going on, but anything from the inside track there on the overnight rate for Wednesday?
Yeah, Kellen, as you guys alluded to earlier, there's not a whole lot going on right now. It's been quiet. The majority of the economists don't anticipate any changes to the overnight rate. It's currently at 2.25%. We've had some mixed signals with inflation, with the economy. So the majority of the economists believe that there'll be no changes for the announcement on Wednesday. So you can expect the status quo for now.
Okay.
It's hard for them to make a decision when things kind of hasn't changed much, right? Over the last little while. So I don't anticipate anything to change at all as far as the rates go.
Okay.
I just want to go touch base a little bit with what Kevin and Ilona said earlier. I've worked. Some of you may know I've worked with several builders in the past, and so I've been on the other side, and I can tell you when things are slow right now, and builders have started, because we're in Edmonton, so the construction season's very it's very short. So a lot of builders anticipate to have a budget for the year, and they start the permitting process all in the spring. So for any builders who may have started construction some of these units, they will be more motivated to make a deal with the potential buyers, rather than taking a risk and carrying that building and finish construction into the fall, into the end of the year. They know they're motivated right now to make a deal. So if you have anyone out there, if you're out there and you're thinking, well, maybe I'll wait until September, you may not get a better deal in September, because they're motivated right now. They would rather be sure and have the building sold today, rather than trying to hang on to it for a little bit more margin in September when it may not move. So the deals are there to be had at this time of the year for sure.
That's a really good point, and even from my own past experiences, but even just within the last, call it 6-7 years of cycles, whether being involved in the new construction industry and then working with the team, is that whether you're primary buyer as well or on the investment side, and oftentimes I think the big picture, and we talk about the margin side of it, but again, the builders are businesses as well. They're buying land from developers. Like, there's a lot of different influences there. But sometimes the best deals aren't necessarily just the dollar. It's about the terms of the agreement. And especially when we're looking at a lot of these off-market investor deals, if it's timelines to align best with the MLI Select financing program, if it's splitting the deposits up, if there's just different things that are going to you can put into an offer as a buyer that puts you ahead of the standard, just, hey, we need X amount of deposit, we need it up front, your condition period is a week, like it's short, those kinds of things. My possession date, can I get an extension on an interest-free window? Those are the kinds of things that as a team we have experience with curating offers. It's not, again, the dollar amount is very, very important, yes. But I think oftentimes if you focus too much on that, especially on the new construction side, those are the nuances, the differences between resale and new construction, is the terms of the agreement. Sometimes that's going to be the biggest part of the negotiation to put that investor or that client in the best position to succeed. And so those are things that we on the business development side have conversations on, but just internally as a team have a lot of experiences with shaping that. And to your point, Minh, when the builder is motivated to make a deal happen, that's where they're a little bit, you can maybe get a little bit more attention to these needs and wants of the buyer. So that's one of the things that I think if again, an opportunity or the timing seems like, hey, summer might be the right time to do this. Let's strip it down. Don't just look at the number of the purchase price. Let's look at all of those different facets of the offer. And that's something that I know our team, we love to get creative with it, but we also have a lot of experience in being able to put something together with the client that's going to help them succeed. So, all right, we went through the stats. We got some boots on the ground, resale, Minh, a little bit of insight there on the overnight rate. So thank you for that. Do you guys have anything else that you just want to chit chat about before we jump into this month's burning question?
Yeah, I do. So if you've made it this far, got a little bit of tidbit for you. So, most investors, they probably heard the adage of, buy a property near a Starbucks, because they've done so much research on the area. For them to invest in it, it's way more than you could ever do it. So feel confident when the Starbucks is close by. Well, we talked about lithium, a month or two ago now. That's just south of Edmonton. Now we have another thing just north of Edmonton, literally 15, 20 minutes north of where I live, in Sturgeon County. Meta, which is Facebook, Instagram, they are investing more than $13 billion into a new data center. It's the first data center in Canada, and they chose Alberta. They chose the Edmonton area, which is another bonus to investors looking in our market. There's going to be, I think, 3,000 construction jobs that are created during the build time there, and then another 300 operational jobs. The province is also, in collaboration with Meta, investing another $60 million into the infrastructure. So it's just like, over time, you're going to keep hearing these benefits of investing in the market. You're hearing big companies investing here, and there's a reason for that. So no pro forma or anything like that is going to really be able to show off all these little small details, but it's like a volcano. The more pressure and the more stuff that comes, eventually it's going to blow. And I still focus on the average income in our province is the highest in the country, but our real estate is in Edmonton is some of the most affordable in the country. And the math ain't mathing. At some point that number is going to adjust, and you're seeing these these massive stories of companies investing in resources and other stuff here. I'm really excited about this. So I think this is another check mark on why Edmonton and why the Edmonton area, and we're excited to see more of that over the next few years.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it, we talk about things being slower in the summertime, and it's just these stories though, and you said like little things, but it's like these stories that are coming up, with the lithium side. Like, it was always just oil and gas, and again, still a huge driver to the economy here, but it's like how now the investment into the province is way larger than what we've ever kind of seen in the last 5 years, like really. So these different drivers to the industry and to the economy, it is something to keep our eye on, to say the least.
Yeah, I think AI is going to be a big part of the province moving forward, in terms of that we have a lot of land available here that is suitable for it, and we get
most sunny days.
Sunshine. Yeah, I think we get the most sunshine in the country. So, if you're listening to this, why aren't you living here?
Yeah,
it's great. Minus the winters.
Yeah, that's the litmus test. You gotta come here for a winter. But yeah, no, that's appreciate you sharing that too, Kevin. There's lots of information out there. Quick search to find it, read up a little bit more. But no, it's exciting. Do you know when is that slated to start? I can't remember.
I think right away. I think it's going to be done.
Is it 2030 expected
Yeah,
to be complete?
2030. And what's really cool is that they're using data centers. Electricity will be matched with 100% clean and renewable energy. So
Yeah.
it's going to be highly efficient as well, which is exciting.
Absolutely. Innovation. Gotta love that part of it too. But no, that's great. Okay, well, let's from there, I'll ask the question again. Any last closing comments before the burning question? Or are we all just pumped to get there?
Yeah,
Let's
I
do
was
the
just
burning
gonna add
questions. Oh,
that
sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna add that I already see the impact that Meta Center will create on the resale real
Yeah?
estate on the north side. It's
Do you
really
have a
exciting
story?
actually.
When you say you've seen the impact?
Well, I can predict the impact.
Oh, okay.
People want to live
Yeah.
closer to their jobs, right? The
Yeah.
reason why Southeast, Southwest is so popular right now is because people are so close to, Nisku,
Yep.
business center there where jobs are. So it's a short commute to work. And then if people, 300, did you say 300 people, Kevin? That
300
3,000.
operational jobs.
operational
Yeah.
jobs, that's potentially 300, you know, more families looking for real estate on the north side.
But even the
And
construction side too. You're gonna need
well, on the
housing.
construction side, Kellen, I was going to say that it's going to pull 3,000 jobs in construction, right? It's either going to, those jobs are either going to be bring people from out of province, which we will need housing, or they're going to take away from the trades that we have right now, and that's going to drive up the prices. So just keep an eye out for that.
Good point. Very good point. But hey, yeah, no, it's opportunity. That's great. So, okay. I'm not going to ask it again. We're just going to jump right into the AOF burning question. Okay.
It's AOF burning questions. AOF burning questions.
All right. So this month's AOF burning question. I am considering selling my home. Is now the right time to list, or should I wait until summer's over?
So we kind of touched on it a little bit, but I think again it depends on the pockets. Like for me, when I'm doing a market comparable for the client, we're gonna look at how much is of that type of property available at that given time. If you're gonna be the only home in that window, let's get it on the market right away. But for me, I do like to, if there's something where it's going to be a little bit more competitive, August 15th is kind of the date that I kind of target, because July is one of the tougher months in terms of showing activity. We had a ton of water come in last month, so perhaps we might see a little increase because a lot of people were not looking at homes when it was raining nonstop in June. And we are seeing signs of that in some pockets of homes where there's not a lot of inventory. Those things are actually busier than usual right now. So just really depends. Like I wish I could give you like, yes, you should do it, or no. I need to know more about the property, where it's located. Is it rented? Do you live in it? Like there's a couple different variables there to give you the proper information. But like my biggest litmus test is there only one or two of that type of property in a zone available right now? Let's get it on. If there's 10, maybe we should wait, because days on market, we might add a few extra weeks of days on market that are unnecessary. And for a buyer, when they start getting serious and looking, they're like, oh, well, this home's been on the market for a month, hasn't sold yet. Well, yeah, it's because it was listed in the dead of summer and no one's here right now. So that's my point. Ilona, what do you think?
Oh, fully agree with you, Kevin. Yeah. Sometimes it also, this is probably an example of timing the market a little bit too. If you're thinking about selling and you want to move by, October, then, and there's a bit of work to do to make your home a bit more attractive to the seller so that it presents really well. It makes sense to maybe take those 3 to 4 weeks in July and prepare your home. Be very intentional about how the home presents. Pre-pack, especially if you're moving, like, pre-pack. see what you need, what you don't need in your new place, and then you'll be ready in August to list, when people are becoming more serious about finding a place.
Yeah. No, those are good points. And I think, if Drew was here, his first thing would be like, hey, we got to just sit back and strategize. Like, because every opportunity and every situation is unique. And so taking all those things into consideration, the different factors, is that, trying to time it, that's a roll of the dice. Like, it's very hard to do that. Everybody's circumstances and situation is unique. And to both your point, Ilona, and to Kevin's, like, it requires some work. So get in touch, because maybe now is the perfect time. Maybe now is actually the right time for an individual that's thinking about selling. Or maybe it is, if they have the benefit of being able to wait, that a little bit of additional time and strategizing, like you said, Ilona, maybe there's some work, maybe there's ways that you can plan to make the house shine, essentially, that might be worth it. So, no, that's some good insight. And then, obviously, Minh, I'm not going to ask you, what's the mortgage rate going to be now versus in 3 months? Because that's a crystal ball that we don't have. But.
If I knew that, I would be a very wealthy man right now.
And you would share that only within our inner circle. But anyway, no, appreciate your guys' insights on that. But that's all I've got for July here, 2026. So. Again, always appreciate you guys joining to talk about what we're seeing in the market, what's going on. Look forward to chatting with everybody here next month for the monthly update. And to all the listeners, thank you again for joining us. Take care.
Okay, guys. See you.
Simple as 1, 2, 3. Everyone's got the recipe. Simple as can be. Trust in us and you will see. We make real estate easy. So easy, believe me. We're here to serve, give you what you deserve. All under one roof, that's our proof. It's still the last one to me.